When people talk about the future of energy, they're really talking about one thing: how we power everything, homes, cities, transportation, and industry, without destroying the environment in the process. Renewable energy is at the center of that shift, but the future isn't as simple as just replacing fossil fuels with solar panels and wind turbines. It's a much bigger transformation. Right now, most of the world still depends heavily on fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. These sources are reliable and energy dense, but they come with a major downside: greenhouse gas emissions. Renewable energy aims to solve that by using sources that naturally replenish, like sunlight, wind, water, and heat from the earth. Let's start with solar power. Solar energy has seen one of the fastest growth rates in recent years. The cost of solar panels has dropped dramatically, making it more accessible for both large-scale projects and individual households. In the future, solar won't just be limited to rooftops or solar farms. We're already seeing the rise of building integrated solar, where windows, walls, and even roads can generate electricity. Advances in materials like perovskite solar cells could make panels cheaper, lighter, and more efficient. But solar has a limitation: it only works when the sun is shining. That brings us to energy storage. Battery technology is one of the most critical pieces of the renewable energy puzzle. To make solar and wind reliable, excess energy generated during peak times needs to be stored and used later. Lithium-ion batteries are currently the dominant technology, but they have limitations in cost, lifespan, and resource availability. Future solutions may include solid-state batteries, flow batteries, and even entirely different storage systems, like hydrogen. The goal is to create storage that is cheaper, longer-lasting, and scalable enough to support entire power grids. Wind energy is another major player. Onshore wind farms are already common, but offshore wind is where much of the future growth is expected. Offshore turbines can be larger and more powerful, taking advantage of stronger and more consistent winds at sea. Floating wind farms are also being developed, allowing turbines to be placed in deeper waters where traditional structures aren't feasible. This significantly expands the areas where wind energy can be generated. Hydropower has been a stable renewable source for decades, but it's evolving too. Large dams are effective but can have significant environmental and social impacts. Future developments are focusing more on small-scale and low-impact hydro systems, as well as technologies that generate power from ocean waves and tides. These approaches aim to produce energy while minimizing disruption to ecosystems. Another important piece of the future is electrification. Many sectors that currently rely on fossil fuels, like transportation and heating, are shifting toward electricity. Electric vehicles are becoming more common, and heating systems are increasingly using electric heat pumps instead of gas. This means demand for electricity will increase, making it even more important to expand renewable generation and improve grid infrastructure. Speaking of grids, the power grid itself is undergoing a transformation. Traditional grids were designed for centralized power plants. Renewable energy, however, is often decentralized, coming from many smaller sources like rooftop solar or local wind farms. This requires smarter, more flexible grids that can handle variable supply and demand. Smart grids use digital technology to monitor and manage energy flow in real time. They can balance supply and demand more efficiently, reduce outages, and integrate different energy sources seamlessly. Hydrogen is also gaining attention. Green hydrogen, produced using renewable electricity, can be used as a fuel for industries that are difficult to electrify, such as steel production or long-distance shipping. It can also serve as a form of energy storage, converting electricity into a transportable fuel. While still in early stages, hydrogen could play a key role in a fully renewable energy system. However, the transition isn't without challenges. Renewable energy requires significant upfront investment. Building infrastructure, solar farms, wind turbines, transmission lines, and storage systems takes time, money, and coordination. There are also concerns about land use, resource extraction for materials, and the recycling of old equipment. Intermittency remains a technical challenge as well. Even with storage, balancing energy supply and demand on a large scale is complex. That's why a mix of different renewable sources combined with storage and smart systems is likely to be the most effective approach. Policy and economics will shape the pace of change. Government incentives, regulations, and international agreements can accelerate adoption. At the same time, market forces, like the falling cost of renewables, are making them increasingly competitive with fossil fuels. In many cases, renewable energy is already the cheapest option for new power generation. So, what does the future actually look like? It's unlikely to be a single breakthrough or a sudden switch. Instead, it will be a gradual shift toward a more diverse, flexible, and decentralized energy system. Solar, wind, hydro, storage, and emerging technologies will all play a role. Energy production will become more local in some cases, with homes and communities generating their own power. At the same time, large-scale projects will continue to supply cities and industries. The key change is not just in what energy we use, but how we use it. Efficiency will become just as important as generation. Reducing energy waste, optimizing systems, and designing smarter infrastructure will all contribute to a more sustainable future. The future of renewable energy is not just about replacing one source with another. It's about redesigning the entire system, making it cleaner, more resilient, and better suited to the needs of a growing world. And while the transition is complex, the direction is clear. Energy is moving toward a model that works with the planet, not against it.